team. Are they going to do it against Vitality though? I do not think so. I think at least the performance that Vitality had in that game, or that matchup, sorry, against Top Blokes, they were just cutting everyone off. And I mean, Joessi mentioned it on the desk. There was how Liquid could win if they were just in the faces of Vitality. But Vitality are going to be right up in your noses as well. And as we get this one going, you can see Vitality just will lead straight from the front.
Well, if we want to go from past results, before this tournament, Team Liquid with Fruity, well, Mouse Sports with Fruity at the time, only played against two different RLCS teams, BDS and Vitality. They lost twice to BDS, but won twice against Vitality, so maybe they have figured Vitality out, maybe they've got something down here. We're going to find out, so you know what? Just to be different, Crafters, and support my unintelligible friend Danny, I'm going to go with Team Liquid here. I'm going to give Team Liquid the win over Vitality, the upset, and let's see if the boys can surprise me. I do agree with you that that first series against BDS was shaky at times, but they really started to turn things around. Can they do it again? Or can they work with that momentum they have at the end and take down the Titans of Europe, the French super team Vitality?
It seems like Vitality are right on the front foot. Fairy can't make contact on that one. That's something I noticed from Liquid in their last matchup just there. Sometimes they all clump together, the defense a little bit shaky. That's going to open the door for Vitality more often than not. And you can see already just Alpha here. He comes from the right-hand wall. Fruity and Speed going to have to make the saves here, both together. Fairy fires onto net, and Cookser rotates in for the save still.
Barely kept out. They're still shooting on target. Right now, Vitality not slowing down. Alpha to the side while looking for the pass. Not going to work away. They clear out. K-Top, midfield battle at the moment, trying to find that opening. Up high will go. Dropping down to Fairy Peak, intercepted by Fruity. The pressure remains. Vitality not slowing down. Bring the ball centre. Fairy Peak a chance. Up high. A small tap. Novus in the tank. Cookser can get the clear out to the side. And up Fruity will go. Alleviating that just for a moment for Liquid. Will they get back in attack? Trying to push through. That's the chance they need. A wide open net. Speed finds a push.
And that's the big counter-attack ability from Liquid. Vitality pushing so far upfield, wasting boosts, wasting chances, and then Liquid bang one in on the counter-attack. Brilliantly played by their defense, holding on to possession more importantly, and putting Vitality in a bit of an awkward spot. But off the kickoff, you can see Vitality are just going to keep pushing this issue. But Liquid, they need to start playing the possession game for themselves.
This game started off full Vitality. They had all control of the ball, and one small counter-attack is what gave Liquid this lead. But they're not always going to get any counter-attack opportunities. Vitality are a team capable of scoring, and they can do it very, very well. They can put some amazing shots on target. So Liquid have to be careful. They've got to take control of this game, extend upon their lead. A chance for Cookser now, bet by Alpha. Vitality advancing upfield. The squadron of players all together. Team cohesion on that squad is so good. They are the powerhouse of Europe for a reason. The French columns next to just being together for so long. The only team in Europe to stick with that roster from season 9. And it's showing how well as a team they work together. But they've got to find the goal. And at the moment, Team Liquid 1-0 up. Pushing upfield to Fruity. Novus and attack. The ball will fall back. Over one. That could be a chance. A good 50-50. They clear out to the side. Centre, they clear away, the play dies down. Vitality have got to try and do it again.
They do, but Liquid just holding strong. Not overextending themselves too much as Vitality seem to be doing, but Liquid, if they want to pull off this series, they need to get a few more opportunities than what they're getting here, because you can see K-Dop just holding that central line, keeping possession for himself. Speed needed to make that touch. Still a minute and a half to go. Liquid with all the momentum on their side. Free to the corner. Speed could follow up onto the backboard. Where's the follow-up? There it is, but it's straight into the path of K-Dop. And now maybe is the time for Team Liquid to build their momentum from the front. Maybe get two in front. Speed straight into the path of Alpha. Here comes Cooks on the drop down. No, it's not there. Right into the keeper. Vitality defense holds for the moment.
Nothing finding the back of the net as yet for Vitality. Liquid could not find their second leader. Fairy Peak up high to the backboard, dropping down. Cookser can take control, but the pressure will remain as Alpha. Off the sidewall, bringing it in centre. The pass over to K-Dop, trying to start a play, but not working out. No one to receive the pass. When the clock dying down, 50 seconds left. Vitality still on the attack, but not scoring anything just yet. So many shots taken. 9 in total, but not a single goal behind the back of the net. It's been speed and defense. 4 saves, along with Prix to his name. The defense from Team Liquid, immaculate at the moment. Nothing finding its way through.
Phenomenal defending. Even better attacking from Vitality. And I mean, the last couple of days on Monday and Tuesday here, Boyo, we saw the likes of Endpoint just putting up shot after shot after shot, and it worked against them because their accuracy just wasn't there. Seems to be the same way for Vitality, but the rotations from Liquid are just precise and perfect. And it might not have been the most spectacular game here in game number 1, but Liquid seem to have got the job done. If this one touches down and it will from Cookser, Liquid take the first.
An excellent start for Team Liquid. As you said, nothing flashy, nothing spectacular, just a really, really solid Rocket League. It's as simple as that. It's all they need to do. Just play solid and they are going to win. As that defense, as we kept referencing, nothing was getting past. 8 saves made, and there was 9 shots taken by Vitality. Everyone was getting saves. No chance of getting anything through.
And you see that field domination stat down the bottom of your screen there, 59%. Usually, obviously throughout this week, we've always just started seeing the field domination stat, but usually it's around 50-odd%, like maybe 51, 52 in favor of somebody. But to see a stat like that, 59% in favor of Vitality, that is, and for them to not pick up the win as well, that is just ridiculous. I mean, you go back to the game they had earlier on, against Top Blokes. In the first game, they won 2-0 in that game and had 58% domination. It just goes to show you the Team Liquid defense, so solid in rotations, and being able to read Vitality in the way that they are. It's really good to see from Liquid, but Vitality need to start being a little bit more creative because they're putting up fairly standard shots for me here, Boyle, and Liquid are just wasting them all as we start game 2. Can Vitality find that spark of creativity? Or will Liquid's defense hold strong again?
As you mentioned, Vitality, they have that ability to be creative. We've seen it time and time again. Alpha especially, an insanely creative player. He gets some amazing shots, but we didn't see any of that in game number 1. I don't know if it's Team Liquid disallowing those opportunities or Vitality just not being confident to go for them. And if it's the lack of confidence, I don't know why that is there. They had an excellent start off against the Top Bloke side, but now trailing by 1 is Liquid, an early goal, only 30 seconds needed. It's the same old, same old. Liquid have came in, scored a goal, and now they can just defend, and defend some more.
And you know what, Danny loves his defense. That's maybe why he loves this Team Liquid so much. But I want to see Liquid put up one hell of a show and get maybe a few more goals on the board. They will. Cooks just slots one under. Brilliant pass in there from Speed as well, but K-Dot should have been winning this challenge, and the defense just not ready for that one from Cooks.
A great shot, 2-0 Team Liquid. I'm feeling a lot more confident with my prediction now, Crafters. I said, do they have Vitality figured out? I think they might, and they're starting to prove that to me more and more. 2-0 up, 30 seconds in. Can Vitality finally return? Alpha's up, the drop down, Cooks at the dribble away. With VDP not working out, the pressure will try and make for Vitality, but Kado passing upfield, VDP gonna let the drop for Alpha, up high to the backboard, he'll try and head. An attempted dunk, Cookser stands strong in the air. Not gonna let anything get by him easily enough. Team Liquid looking so strong, coming off the corner, a chance for Vitality, save once more, but it's gonna go in. Oh, Cookser, never mind. What a save! Off the post, pinches it out, but it's not over yet. Fairy Peak centre, Alpha the shot, it goes in, 2-1 Team Liquid.
Oh, and Cook's just being the rock that he is. Just misses this one in the corner, can't read it off Fairy Peak and just goes diving at that one. Speed can't get round. For the first time in this series here, Boyo, Liquid's rotations have really broken down. Vitality's pressure has worked out for them, so maybe just calm down a little bit, Liquid guys, but Fairy right to the backboard, wanting to keep this pressure right on the blue half of the field. And again, this is what Vitality do so well, is hold on to the ball and just keep shooting and shooting and shooting.
And you say calm down, Vitality said we're not going to let them calm down, we're going to pull after more shots to net and put more and more pressure on as K-Dot will take control. The flick out to the back wall. Trying to win another 50, but Cooks said it will go up high, the follow-up, the drop down centre. Prix will get the clear away over to Kuxer once more. That's a shot to the backboard, saved by Kado. Speed cannot follow up. Alpha an attempt to clear. The ball drops down. Out to the side it will go. A midfield battle. Both teams trying to break out. Vitality might have the upper hand. The team Liquid. Oh, what a great pass! A great turnaround. 3-1 Team Liquid.
What a read here by Speed and by Fruity as well. Unbelievable hook up there between the two guys. What positioning from Fruity to keep that one on his car and bangs it into the top left corner. Beautiful play, and Liquid ahead by 2.
Ahead by 2 once more. What a play it was. They dropped down to Speed. That's another chance. Oh, barely kept out. Liquid are playing so well now. They have decided, wait, Vitality, we're only winning by 1. No, that's not on. We've got to win by even more than that. But launched to the backboard, saved by Kuxer. Team Liquid, they've just turned something on, and it's not turning off. Oh, what a game this has been from them.
It certainly has been, and I mentioned about Joessi on the desk, talking about Liquid just shutting Vitality down. It's going to be the key to victory for them. It certainly has been. And more so keeping possession. You can see Vitality are winning more of the 50-50 challenges, but I think Liquid, they are putting the balls in positions only their own teammates can get to. And just like that, Speed drops one down to Cooks in a position that Vitality defense had no chance of getting to. Fairy caught flat-footed, and Cooks slots it under for the 4th.
He makes it 4-4-1 the scoreline. Vitality, almost no chance of coming back now. With how well Team Liquid are playing, I find it hard that they get one more goal this game. 2 minutes left, so realistically it's possible, but Team Liquid, oh, they have, after that game 1 being so close, they decided they're not going to get any closer than that, and we are going to dominate Vitality. They're doing exactly that. Prix with a launch upfield to try and establish another play. Just get more goals on the pitch. Speed, what a performance from him. 3 assists already, the playmaker today. And Cooks with a hat-trick as well.
Oh.
Pretty one of his own. Everyone is playing so well on this squad.
He mentioned earlier about the team cohesion of Renault Vitality, but look at the chemistry between the Team Liquid boys. They know where everyone is at any given moment. That's an interesting touch though by Speed. It might lead to a goal. He gets the defensive play, but it's really not a play he really had to have made, because he set it up for the other team. And if you're Speed, you cannot be making mistakes like that. I know you're 4-1 up.
Oh,
with just over a minute to go, but Kado, look at, you can give Vitality those chances. They are going to run with them, so you need to shut them down and not give them easy chances.
Vitality almost scored 1 this whole series, and Fruity scored 1 himself this game. 4 per Team Liquid. Oh, Vitality game 3 is going to be a lot of tough work. And with Kuxer upfield, a 1-on-1 against Kerr, trying to force it away through to make it 5. Not going to work out. But it doesn't matter if it works out or not. Team Liquid are 1 game 2, and they're going to be 2 up in this series. Simple as that. And Vitality, they need a reverse sweep now. Otherwise, they'll be heading to the lower bracket and make it to the playoffs in that upper bracket side.
Yeah, like we said earlier, the format being here, the top 3 teams from the 4-team groups will go through. Obviously, Liquid and Vitality already secured themselves a spot in the playoffs on Saturday and Sunday. They're fighting for seeding, and Liquid making a splash onto the scene in their first 7 games here in Rocket League, and a 4-1 victory over Vitality here in game number 2. Setting them up for almost a second goal there from Vitality, but Liquid setting themselves up wonderfully, and Danny's got to be rubbing his hands together thinking, I've backed the right horse.
And this Liquid team is making a statement right now, Crafters. They've came here, they picked up Fruity. They pick up Fruity, they go for the Euro Cup. They beat Vitality not once, but twice. They lose to BTS in the finals, and they come back here for the Grand Prix. The first team they face up against is pretty much arch rivals now, BDS. They take them down. And they face up against a familiar foe, Vitality, and they're 2-0 up. What a statement this is from Team Liquid, really putting themselves in contention for top of Europe now, with just how good they've been performing in these last 2 tournaments. They are taking down the top teams.
They are, and I think maybe people or Liquid fans will be saying you underestimated these guys coming into this week and you underestimated this team when they were picked up by Liquid. You've got to agree with that now. We have been underestimating, and obviously ex-Mouse squad, as Jay mentioned earlier, who've been up and down all over the place. But now as Team Liquid, they've just something's starting to click, and maybe, just maybe, Boyle, it's the Fruity factor.
And maybe it's the Fruity factor. Fruity always a question mark for me in reciprocity. I knew he was a good, strong player, but it was where did he fit into that roster and what about him made that roster so good, which caused me a lot of questions. But there's obviously something here that I didn't notice, because Liquid picked him up and they went from a kind of a mid-tier team with Speed and Cox. They were had their moments at time, but inconsistent had really riddled that squad. Fruity's came in here, and what a start this had been with that pickup. I cannot overstate how well Fruity's done this roster, and how well Speed and Cox have done as well. They have played immaculately.
Yeah, and I mean, we think back for Fruity at least, back to the days of PSG when he was playing with the likes of Joessi back in DreamHack Valencia when they just completely tore up that tournament. What a fantastic victory it was from them back then. He was such a dominating presence on that roster. You never wanted to get in the way of Fruity, especially in offense. He was such a precise striker, and you saw in that last game that touch he had down from Speed, and then just the tiniest little bit of a cherry picker touch to curve that one in. Fruity is fitting so well with Cooks and Speed, who again themselves formidable duo over the last maybe year or so here in the Rocket League esports scene, and they're gelling so well together. Whereas Vitality, again, we've seen it work before. We've seen it work for Vitality in the past. I don't know what's happening here, because they look good against Top Blokes. I mean, obviously they dropped that one game, but they looked really good against Top Blokes, and they looked like nobody was going to take them off, at least today. But Liquid have came in here and have stole the show for me.
It's simple. They have stole the show, and as I mentioned about not wanting to get in the way of Fruity, it's the amount of power he can generate on his shots, and I think he don't want to get away again in his way in real life as well, because of that exact same thing. The amount of power that man can generate. But
he's a mountain of a man. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, or about 6'1", 6'2". He towers over me, and I'm like, oh, hello, Fruity. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
I think Fruity just instills fear in his opponents, just as a human being in general, and that's why any team with him does so well. But no, in all seriousness, Liquid, I don't even know, I wouldn't even account it as just solely the pickup of the org, which I've heard a lot of people have saying it's a turnaround. They've been picked up by Liquid, they're feeling a lot more happy, motivated and stuff, but you've seen how they played in Eurocup. That's not about the org. The org will definitely help. Liquid have definitely rejuvenated this team, but they've had this new bit of confidence with Fruity on this roster. Speed feeling more comfortable, and old friends pretty much just came around, and Cookser, he's always doing well, he's always happy, he's always just winning and having amazing chances. Cookser, I can never say anything bad about him.
You really can, and I mean the perennial winner, obviously former world champion back in season 2 with Flipside Tactics, been around pretty much since the start of Rocket League esports, and he is just as good today as he was, 3-4 years ago, back in season 1 and season 2 of the RLCS. But as we get this one going into game number 3, Cookser and his boys Speed and Fruity, one game away from making the playoffs in the upper bracket, but Vitality might have something to say about that. You can never count out this three-headed monster in Renault Vitality.
And that upper bracket spot is so important, so helpful as well. And even heading to the lower bracket today puts you at risk of starting in the lower bracket or the playoffs, as of course the third place team in the groups will be starting off in the lower bracket, and that's not a fun place to start by any means of the word. Last live already, so they team want any win they can get. Liquid, 2 firsts of the way there, one more win in this series, and they will be moving on to the playoffs, top seed guaranteed. Whereas Vitality have the threat of Top Blokes again, or Team BDS, and they don't want to play against these teams. These teams are so good. Vitality want this easy run, but Liquid are not giving it to them. Liquid are saying, no, we are here to ruin your day, ruin your parade, and show that we are the best in Europe.
Certainly looking that way for the moment. Fruity going for a bump on somebody in net. Can't make contact on anyone. Alpha will get the save out. This is the push that Liquid need to start making against Vitality. Yes, they've been They won that game, the last game, quite comfortably, I should say. But I think they need to lead from the front here against Vitality, because they're just going to be right up in your grill. Alpha again, going for that flip reset. He's gone for that maybe 3 or 4 times now. And every single time there's a Liquid defender right there to take the ball right from the top of his car. The aggression in defense is brilliant from Liquid, but they need to start turning that into offensive pressure upfield.
Sir, to the ceiling, cannot follow up in time. K-Dot will find a save, the clear away up to Fairy Peak, it will go. Go up and down, K-Dot too slow, bet by speed, along to the backboard, saved by Alpha. The Crooks is up high, rushing in, trying to find a touch on it. A beat to the ball, to the ceiling it will go. Kurtzer depends off the floor, going barely wide. K-Dot gets it cleared away, and Fairy Peak going upfield now, trying to get a chamber Vitality. 1 goal scored this whole series, 5 for Team Liquid. Vitality scoring not in their repertoire this series, it seems, and they've got to turn that around. They need a reverse sweep at this stage, and they've got to find something different they can do. With half the game gone, now the scoreline, for how much longer will that last? Vitality on attack, hunting for a goal, but Team Liquid, so good at getting these clears away, so good at defense, they're not letting anything get through. And as soon as that opportunity is there, they'll go in the counter-attack.
And like I mentioned earlier, Vitality just seem to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. Alpha's going to go for that flip reset. K-Dot's going to head it into the backboard. Liquid are just reading every single play that they're doing. They need to start mixing it up. Maybe go for a bump play or two, because Liquid are just reading every chance that Vitality's getting and shutting them down before they can even develop.
The corner, Cooper, up high he'll go, looking for a chance, a one-on-one against Alpha. Oh, Fairy Peak comes in, saves his teammate, but they're not going to slow down. Prix to the corner now, speeds up high, beats the ball by Alpha, to the ceiling it will go, Cooper out to the side. 90 seconds left of this game, scoreless, the closest one so far, without Fairy Peak trying to find a teammate, no one there to receive. Fruity, a great touch, and hit by K-Dot in net. Still, a goal not scored. Renault Vitality, 4 shots taken, none went in. 5 for Team Liquid. The same can be said about them. Fairy Peak up high. Easily hit by Fruity. Where's the creativity in the plays that Craftman is talking about? We need to see the creativity. We're wanting the creativity, and Vitality needs to do it if they want to score.
They're just shutting down these lanes. Every time they come from the corner, someone from Liquid is there to step in the way. Vitality needs to start pushing this down the throats of Liquid, hold this midfield, and just put it right onto target and just start demoing these keepers, because Liquid are just going to keep rotating. And there's only been maybe 1 or 2 times throughout the course of this series here, Boyo, that Liquid have broken rotation, and I think it led to 1 goal from Vitality. It's not going to lead to another one if they keep up this pace.
Certainly not. 30 seconds left on the clock. Overtime looking likely now. Unless Vitality can pull something off on this play. Up high, Cruiser a chance, the pass down his speed, to force it way through. Oh, K-Dot find the save, Cruiser not in position to follow up. Clear away not working out, speed a chance, the pass out, that's gonna go in. Slots it in the bottom corner, 1-0 Team Liquid, 12 seconds left. That's surely got to be it, Craftman, that's surely got to be the sweep. The Vitality rattled at the moment.
Precision in that pass. Absolutely dominating from Team Liquid, and you could not write it better. But Alpha looking to get it off the kickoff, can't slot it in. K-Dot will fire Fruity with the save, and with 4 seconds to go, that might be it for Vitality. This one needs to hit the ground, and Liquid will be going through to the upper bracket in the playoffs. And yes, they have done it. Vitality full swept out by Team Liquid.
Team Liquid take down the Titans of Europe. Vitality for a 3rd time in a row of matchups for them. They have cemented themselves as the Vitality destroyers at this stage. Oh, what a performance, even avoiding the overtime with that last second goal. Team Liquid move to the playoffs as the #1 seed. Oh, what an upset over BDS, over Vitality. Is it even an upset anymore, Crafters? They are so good.
They are utterly fantastic, and I can Danny's on my screen just to my right, and he's grinning with glee here, Boyo. unbelievable play by Team Liquid. Their team chemistry, their defense. Oh my goodness. Could go on for days about them in defense, but Vitality, they did try their best. They played their game to the best of their ability, but they were way too predictable. And Team Liquid, I mean, you've only played two games in the Rocket League esports scene, but man, what an entrance.
You're right, whole dissertation about Team Liquid's defense, it was that good. There's so much to say about it, and I know the Team Liquid guys, the staff there will be so happy that they're doing a viewing party at the moment, supporting their boys, supporting their team, and I'm sure they'll be overjoyed by the result, and well, truly they should be. As Team Liquid, our first team to make it to the playoffs, now Vitality, they head to the lower bracket, awaiting their next opponent. Who will it be? BDS or Team Liquid? We'll be discussing that and finding that out after this break.